They say into your eyes, romance can.
Hey guys, so we got the Kia Stinger tuned, not with a box. We're using actually ECU programming the different parameters inside the ECU, and we're going to share those with you tonight. So, who wants to see a 500 horsepower Kia Stinger? I know I do. Stay tuned. Alright, as a lot of you know, we were running the lap 3 box. Worked great, made some power, didn't give us the results on the quarter mile that we wanted to see. So, flash over. What do we got here? I got a couple of ECUs. I got a Stinger spare ECU. I got 2 Stinger spare ECUs. So tonight, we successfully flashed a spare ECU. I do have to get the VIN code removed, so we got no check engine light, but I did successfully tune a Kia Stinger tonight with a spare ECU, which is fantastic news because I've got 2 of them sitting here. What we're using? MagPro X17. WinOS software tuning there in the background. You can see we're using the MagPro Magic Motorsports X17 to flash the Stinger. Really excited about that. It was a brand new software suite that we just picked up, and we're using it to tune multiple vehicles actually. But the big reason we got it was for the Stinger, both for the 2.0 and for the 3.3 GDI. So let's pan over here. We got 2 spare ECUs. Let's take a quick trip out to the shop. Engine, powder coat, yeah, lots of fun stuff here. So what do we got here? We've got a Kia Stinger on the dyno. So we finished up all the runs tonight. In case you're wondering, yeah, I really like the rear wing. All right, enough of that. So we got the car on the dyno. We ran it tonight. We're really happy with the results. So, but I want to go over some of those results with you guys. So let's come over here. Okay, after that little intermission, we had some problems with getting the software to run, but we're back up. So, as you can see, we got lots of runs here with the Stinger. This is all Stinger runs over here on the side here. So, we'll go all the way back to the very first run. Bone stock, let me get the torque numbers pulled up. We got torque and horsepower. Torque and horsepower. Now, we're not going to look at peak because there's a little bobble up here. We have a little bobble because I have it set up on mile per hour. Down here I have it set up on mile per hour, so I know what gear I'm running in when I'm running. You can see the boost curve. You can see the results. Those are not the results. 352, 386 are not the results because of this. So I'm going to move it over to engine speed real quick. So there are results, okay? 343, 386, that was when we were bone stock. I'm not going to go through this video. You guys can go through look at my other video. The video is 343 horsepower to 455 horsepower. It explains everything. What I am going to explain tonight, what's very, very important, is 91 octane. That's a lap 3 box. 93 octane. Running about 18 PSI, 19 PSI. I think it just about touches 20, but it's about 18 PSI. The box made 425, 471. Great gains, good curve, okay? Here is what we got out of, oh, wrong pull. Sorry, I don't have the latest pulls numbered, guys. Okay, so not quite as much torque, a little bobble in there. I got some torque limits turned on. See that little gain down there at the end? Now a lot of people are gonna look at that and they're gonna go, oh, that's not much. I've gotta go through and... So now, if you look right here, it got cut off because we lost signal on the dyno. So I'm gonna come down here. I'm gonna move this. I know I'm dancing around a little bit, apologize. I'm gonna move this over to speed so you guys can see the whole run. So it makes it a mess. Let me get the cursor out of there. I get rid of one run. Okay. So here's what's important. We're just going to look at horsepower. You see that? You see the box? The box is a red line. Blue line is stock. box is a red line. So right here, we're making what, additional 30 horsepower, 37 horsepower. Additional 37 horsepower at what effectively is the shift point. Now here's what I want to show you guys, okay? And this is what is important. Okay, this is a third, fourth, and fifth gear wide open throttle pull on the dyno. This will show you how long you are effectively in a gear. So if you're racing down the quarter mile, that's third, fourth, and fifth. You're going to be first, second, third, and fourth. I don't recall if it hits fifth. I think it stays in fourth gear. May shift in fifth right at the end. Here's what's important. I'm going to drag this cursor up here. You see this right here? See the green line? That green line is fifth gear. That's all the longer that fifth gear lasts. The 91 tune with a lap 3 box right here is losing. What is it losing? 30 horsepower? I'm going to go through and click in multiple different areas. 424 versus 392. What's it losing right here? 434 versus 418. 422 versus 435. There's 10 horsepower. All the way to where it makes its gear change, which is 422 versus 427. Give or take. 422 versus 422, we'll call it that. So you're making 10 to 30 more horsepower in fifth gear. What does that mean? A lot of people don't even understand what that means. Here is what is happening here. Is as you go through and you do multiple third, fourth, fifth gear pulls. Okay, you see how flat that is? Third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear. They never fall off. This is the tune. This is not the box, the 91 octane box. This is the tune that we're talking about here. I don't have a 91 octane box results for third, fourth gear because it broke up on us every time we did that, but I do have stock. And here's what I want you to pay attention to. Since the box mimicked the factory curve drops. See how it drops? So the factory curve, that's red. The box would drop the same amount of power. It goes from 347 horsepower to its shift point where it's at 311. You lose, let's go even deeper. If we go deeper, I bet you we can lose 40 horsepower. There you go. Just lost 40 horsepower. 40 plus horsepower from that point to that point. Okay, now the shift is happening a little bit earlier up here. So, trying to move that around. Okay, so 318, but how much horsepower do we lose with the tune? We're at 415. Well, right here, we're at 420. We're not losing 40 horsepower in the top of that gear. This is important. This is what makes a car fast. A car is fast because it sustains its power curve, not because it loses power when it makes its gear change or when it's coming up on its gear change. Look at fifth gear. See how fifth gear just falls off the map? I won't even go all the way to the bottom of it. I'll go to there. Fifth gear, 304 horsepower versus 326. It loses 20 horsepower. Now, if we actually go all the way out to the shift point, it's miserable. You're losing 40 or 50 horsepower. That's not a fair representation. But you lose 20 horsepower. What do we lose up here? What are we losing up here? 426? 423? Let's go to the highest point. 436? Losing 437 versus 423? You're losing 15 horsepower. The other one, you're losing upwards of 30 horsepower, 40, 50 horsepower if you count the entire dip. Guys, just because a car makes huge numbers on a dyno doesn't make it fast. It's how well it sustains that power curve. Now, I looked tonight. I am going to look one more time. Power across the curve is important. That's what I'm trying to get through to you guys. I'm going to go through and see. I do believe we have no 91 octane multiple gear pulls because every time we tried it, the car would break up once it got into 5th gear. We really did have a lot of problems with the box and trying to sustain. 93 octane, I'm gonna see if we've got, I don't think we have any multiple gear pulls with 93 octane engaged. We don't. Oh, we do. All right. So let's take a look at that. So there's third, fourth, and what's left of 5th. So you can see what happens. So let's see. Let's take a quick peek. Okay, so you tell me, which one's faster? Okay, the brown line, it looks like the 93 octane matched our tune really, really closely. Now, given that the 93 octane tune was running considerably more boost, I believe it was upwards of 20 plus pounds of boost, but our tune is mimicking 3rd gear. Tune mimics 4th gear pretty well. But you see this right there? What's happening? Power's falling off. You just lost 15, 16 horsepower. You get into 4th gear where it starts to break up a little bit. 5th gear, my bad. 5th gear is starting to break up. What's happening here? What's happening with the 93? And this is with HKS plugs in. We have 421 horsepower, and let's just take that right there. The 375. We're still at 415 horsepower, yet we're at 435, so we lost 20 horsepower in 5th gear. Now again, some heat soak, blah, 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 excuse. Here's the thing. This is a 93 octane. This is a tune that made 455 horsepower in a single gear pull. Okay? Our tune at 2 pounds, 3 pounds less boost, much less aggressive ignition timing, is going to be faster than a 93 octane car. It's going to be faster than a drag pack. It's going to be faster than the, I don't know all the piggy boxes that are on the market right now. Here's the other thing I want to point out. Okay? You will not see this with a piggyback. Simply won't happen. Okay, this is air fuel ratio. I still have the primary cats in, so it's going to be running right around 12.5, 12.4 air fuels. Now here is what a lot of tuners will not do. I'm going to make that air fuel curve huge. Now these are gear changes. Gear change. Gear change. Okay? You're going to see a bit of a bobble in air fuels. Okay? I don't care who you are. That is an absolutely perfect air fuel curve for rolling through the gears. I just expanded that air fuel curve to half the screen so you guys can see what's going on. Now I've chatted your ear off. I don't know if you're going to watch this all the way to the end. Here's what's important. Here's what you take from this. Power across the curve is much more important in making your car fast than that big torque spike, that big number at the end of the curve. We're focusing on trying to make this car fast. We are not trying to make it, make tons and tons of torque and all sorts of power and stuff like this. This is one of our best 93 octane box pulls at 455 horsepower. Broke up top. I believe this is our best pull tonight. Sorry, it didn't break up. It was a shift point. Here's our best pull tonight with our tune. Again, running much less boost. We don't have that big range hit. I'm going to show you torque. So you see the torque curve? Yeah, the box beat us out. Absolutely. I have torque limits turned on at 470 foot-pounds. So right around 580 foot-pounds of torque. I have our torque limiter still intact. Right there. Dead flat torque curve. Okay, that's what's important. This car will be faster than any box car. Power for power on the number for number on the dyno once it hits a quarter mile. I'll hopefully have quarter mile results for everyone come Sunday. I'm trying to make sure I get that video, get everything posted up. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, please, and share this. We're trying to get the information out there for the Stinger community. I know I rambled on for a while. Take it, share it, and let people know what we're doing for the Stinger community. Thanks, guys.